In order to take possession of the girl's body, the man first waited until no one was around, then forcibly dragged the girl into his car. He then knocked her out with a heavy punch and immediately drove to his own residence. To prevent the girl from seeing her surroundings, the man tightly wrapped her in a blanket, then threw her into a cramped room less than 4 square meters in size. After he was done, the man closed the door behind him. Soon, 10-year-old Lisa regained consciousness from her coma. Her young mind had no way of understanding what had just happened. Bewildered, she looked around at her surroundings, but in the cramped room, there was nothing except a single lamp and a sink. Frightened, all she could do was keep trying to open the door. Clearly, the man had no intention of letting her go. Staring at the only air vent above her, Lisa used all her strength to cry out for help, but the only response was the silence surrounding her. Helpless, Lisa could only curl up in the corner of the room. At this moment, Lisa had no idea that she would spend a grueling 3,096 days in this tiny, confined room. In order to gain her trust, Wolfgang prepared a mattress that was neither too thick nor too thin, and even carefully laid out sheets for Lisa. After that, he brought Lisa some simple food, and Lisa quietly made her request. Mummy. But Wolfgang ignored her and simply closed the door. Lisa took off her coat and put it into a bag, then made herself a makeshift pillow. But suddenly, the lights were turned off. Frightened, Lisa carefully groped around in the darkness, calling out for her mother over and over again. By the 3rd day, Wolfgang had already started telling Lisa bedtime stories. Seeing the girl in front of him gradually let down her guard, Wolfgang seemed somewhat satisfied. Before leaving, he even deliberately gave Lisa a goodnight kiss. At this time, the news of Lisa's disappearance was already being broadcast on TV, and Lisa's mother was in tears every day, blaming herself for letting Lisa go to school alone. On the other side, Wolfgang and his mother saw the news on TV.
This pervert is sexually abusing that child.
Despite the times, why else would he abduct a 10-year-old girl? Really?
Who knows? Maybe he's crazy about her.
That day, Lisa wrote a letter and handed it to Wolfgang, asking him to mail it to her mother's address so her mother wouldn't worry. But when Wolfgang realized that Lisa still wanted to go home, he told her, "You're just unwanted trash."
They don't want me.
Nobody wants you.
My parents want me.
Really? Then why aren't they paying the ransom? They don't care about you.
Not true.
Really? Well, don't believe it then. But nobody would pay anything for you.
I don't have money. Why did you leave me with your family?
But your parents just need to go to the bank. That's all they have to do. Every bank shells out money for kidnappings. They don't care about you because you're not worth it to them.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. It's true.
Because Lisa's words made Wolfgang extremely angry, he grabbed her head and forced it into the sink, warning her to give up the idea of going home. After venting his anger, Wolfgang crawled out of the narrow tunnel, then slowly closed the heavy cement and iron door, blocked the entrance to the secret room with the safe, and finally moved the cabinet in front of the safe. With all these barriers, the weak Lisa had no way to escape. Worried that Lisa might leave marks on his body, Wolfgang would always wear an extra jacket each time, and finally cover the basement entrance with a wooden board. After finishing all of this, Wolfgang acted as if nothing had happened and sat down to enjoy coffee with his mother. At this time, 2 policemen rang the doorbell of Wall's house. The clue they had received was that a white van had abducted Lisa, so the police needed to investigate the nearby. But the cautious Wall had already filled the truck with work-related items, so the 2 police officers didn't find any traces. When the police took photos of the truck, Wall was clearly a bit flustered, but when questioned by the officers, he answered flawlessly, which quickly led the police to rule him out as a suspect. Little did they know Lisa, whom they had been desperately searching for, was right there, just a short distance away from them. Another 183 days passed. Lisa began to imitate the teachers she remembered, giving herself lessons every day with the only 2 pieces of clothing she had. She drew a cat on the wall, and then drew a handle and a lock on the door. She fantasized about escaping from there, imagined the world outside, but in the end it was all just her wishful thinking. Inside the secret room, Wall installed a listening device on the wall so he could monitor Lisa's every move at any time. However, this was just another way to further brainwash her. He would deliberately interrupt Lisa's self-talk.
You have to obey me. Obey me.
Yes, I will.
Obey me.
Obey me.
Obey me. Obey me.
However, despite the constant brainwashing, Lisa never gave in. She smeared toothpaste on her arm, then called Wall over, pretending that she was having a severe allergic reaction. But how could the tricks of a 10-year-old girl fool an adult? As expected, Lisa ended up being beaten by Wall. To make Lisa give up any thoughts of escaping, Wall deliberately showed her just how secure her prison cell was.
Why?
As punishment for Lisa, Wall began to control her food. After 4 days of hunger, Lisa's desire to escape gradually weakened, and unable to bear it any longer, she started trying to please Wall.
Sugar, I just really want something to eat.
In the blink of an eye, 4 years had passed. Because she was constantly starving, she went from being a cute, chubby girl to a skinny, emaciated one. For 4 years, to fill her stomach, she kept trying every way she could to please Vol, but all she got in return was his relentless brainwashing.
You have to eat something to eat. Obey me! Obey me! Obey me! Obey me! Are you really that stupid? You have to say, obey me, as many times as I need to hear it.
To ease her hunger, she could only survive on water, lying motionless on the cramped little bed. On the 1095th day, the naive and innocent Lisa experienced her first period, getting blood all over her pants and the chair. War cursed at her while calling her cold-blooded. Lisa asked to go to the bathroom to clean herself up, but the ever-suspicious War flatly refused her request. At 18, most people have the gentle guidance of their mothers, but Lisa's 18th year was spent locked in a pitch-dark dungeon, forced to listen to a man's endless tirades. However, after much hesitation, War finally agreed to let Lisa go upstairs to take a shower. At last, after more than 1,000 days, Lisa stepped out of her prison for the first time. Hearing the lively, bustling world outside, and seeing the sunlight through the window, she couldn't suppress her longing for freedom. But the cunning War gave Lisa no chance at all. Even when she was taking a shower, War insisted on watching her the entire time. One day, War's mother accidentally noticed a strand of golden hair on War's clothes. She mistakenly thought that War already had a girlfriend. To prevent such incidents from happening again, War cruelly shaved away the youth of an 18-year-old girl, and Lisa could only silently weep throughout, not daring to resist at all. The time came to day 1137. On Christmas Day, Lisa specially decorated the room, and War put on a sharp suit to celebrate Christmas with Lisa. War gave Lisa a Walkman. To make Vol happy, Lisa did her best to keep up the festive atmosphere. She even wanted to give Vol a holiday hug.
Thank you.
Stop that.
Even after all these years, Lisa still thinks about her family all the time.
You don't have a family anymore. Understand? Because I am your family. Your father, your mother, your grandmother. I am everything to you. Because I created you.
In order to make Lisa completely forget her past, Vol gave her a new name, Anna. Meanwhile, Lisa's family never forgot her. Her grandmother even knitted a pink sweater for her by hand. But Lisa's mother still lives in endless guilt, though they firmly believe that their daughter is still alive somewhere in the world. As Lisa continued to grow, the space in the secret room could no longer contain her, so the two of them planned to renovate the attic. But Vol was still furious to discover that Lisa always longed for the freedom outside, so he began to trample on Lisa's self-esteem.
I'm taking a rest. Take this seriously.
At night, Vol took Lisa to his room. To prevent her from escaping in the middle of the night, he tightly bound their arms together with zip ties. In order to appease Vol, Lisa had to greet him with a smile every day. It was only after the door was closed that Lisa dared to show her inner exhaustion. During the 2,029 days that Lisa was held captive, she had already started taking care of Vol's daily needs and meals. But faced with Vol's constant nitpicking, Lisa could only keep her head down and work harder. Just a single mistake would cause Vol to beat Lisa. In order to better control Lisa, Vol demanded that she could only eat 1 meal a day. Even if food fell on the floor, Vol would go out of his way to scrape it up for her to eat. After venting his anger, Vol would throw Lisa back into the secret room. As the captivity dragged on and Vol continued to brainwash Lisa, he gradually started taking her outside. To prevent Lisa from having any rebellious thoughts, Vol would warn her every time that he had a gun and would not hesitate to kill her if necessary. But even so, Lisa in the car couldn't help but look out at the world through the window. Whenever Vol saw her turning her head to look outside, he would always intervene and stop her. One day Vol took Lisa out to buy materials for renovation, but when she turned around, Lisa realized that Vol was no longer by her side. She looked at the store clerks in the mall and realized this was a chance to escape, but then Vol's voice sounded in her ear again. Just as she was hesitating, Vol suddenly returned to her side. Just like that, Lisa personally let her chance to escape slip away. Back in the secret room, Lisa was filled with regret. Her chance had been right in front of her. On day 2175, Lisa heard news about her own disappearance on the radio. Because there had been no leads for years, the police had no choice but to close the case early. It was at that moment, upon hearing the broadcast, that Lisa broke down completely. After a period of reflection, she began to have thoughts of ending her own life. She turned on the induction cooker in the secret room, then placed a large amount of toilet paper on top of it. Soon, the room was filled with smoke. She lay on the bed, stretched out her neck, and inhaled the white smoke in deep breaths. But before long, her body's instinctive will to survive made her stop. She had no choice but to put out the fire on the induction cooker. To keep Wall from finding out, after venting, Lisa would record Wall's violent outbursts on a piece of tissue paper and then secretly place it in a box. That night, Lisa asked Wall the question she'd kept in her heart. Why did you choose me as your target back then? It turned out that 6 years ago, when Wall was paying the bill, he happened to see young Lisa give him a sweet smile, and Wall became completely captivated by that smile. When he got home, he began designing the blueprint for the secret room. He bought tools separately from different hardware stores, then dumped the soil in various places. Time passed today, 2847. Sometimes Wall would take Lisa skiing, but Lisa never gave up on the idea of escaping. However, the cautious Wall would first ask if there was anyone in the restroom, and only after making sure it was empty would he feel safe letting Lisa go in. Lisa was thinking about how to escape when she heard the sound of a toilet flushing next door, so she quickly followed after. This time, she didn't hesitate and called out for help to a passerby. But unfortunately, the passerby couldn't understand her language at all. But as luck would have it, Wall saw the unfamiliar woman coming out of the restroom. After they got home, Wall started beating Lisa without saying a word. The time came today, 2008. Today was Lisa's 18th birthday. At lunch, Wall told Lisa that he was going to sell the truck, and he wanted her to clean it thoroughly so it could fetch a good price. It was while she was cleaning that Lisa suddenly noticed the main gate wasn't fully closed. The gap was just wide enough for her to escape. At that moment, the buyer called Wall. Because of the loud noise from the vacuum cleaner, Wall had no choice but to go inside to take the call. Lisa slowly put down the vacuum cleaner, and after making sure Wall wouldn't come out, she dashed toward the door. Although Lisa had never had a full meal in all these years, her desire to survive drove her to run forward with all her might. Soon, Lisa ran into an elderly person's garden. The elderly person took her in and called the police. After the police arrived and verified Lisa's identity, her mother at home also received a call from the police. While in the car, Lisa asked whether Wall had been caught. What she didn't know was that when Wall realized Lisa was missing, he immediately understood that she had escaped, but he did not choose to go out and look for her. Knowing that his actions had been exposed, Wall went to the railroad tracks, lay down in the middle of the tracks, and ended his own life.